All right, well, this is really interesting. So, just got off the phone with Watchman for that great day. Brother John, love that guy. Love that brother. He's just full of energy. I love it when he blows the shofar. What we need is more shofar. That's what I like to tell him. More shofar. Forget about the cowbell. We need more shofar. Anyway. I love you, brother. Hey, I wanted to tell everyone, you know, I got this word booth back before Yom Kippur when I was asking the Lord, like, when are you coming? Is this really going to happen? So on and so forth. And I waited until now because really everything I talk about has to be in here and now, because the rapture and Jesus' return is always a today event, will always be in the day that we live. It is a today event. So, you know, we talked about 10:4. I've never had a message like that before, really. I mean, that was really something supernatural. But it was for a reason, and it's for a purpose, because they were telegraphing that. Now, I will tell you, U2, there's one more thing that was entered in my spirit, and I've been a big fan of U2 my whole life. I mean, I've always really liked the band, so I'm very familiar with them, and it's just interesting that here in these final days that I'm talking about what U2 talks about. But there's a concert they had called Pop Mart back in the 90s, and in the middle of the concert they would leave the stage, and it was for the encore that they would come back to the stage in a giant mirror ball lemon. Okay, now this sounds strange, but I think we're gonna see what the symbolism here is. So they come back and they've changed into different, they wear a different costume, and the costumes they're wearing, they have like they look like they've got muscles and things on these shirts, and they're in white. And they come out of this lemon like it's a spaceship, and they even call it a spaceship. And it opens up and hatches, like opens in the middle, and they walk down a staircase. And what this, I realized today, what this, I've always wondered, what the heck is that? You know, it's some random, they're getting in a lemon and they're coming out in front of the crowd. It's ridiculous. I mean, come on, seriously, a mirror ball lemon? What the heck's that? Well, we're in Tabernacles, Feast of Booths, Feast of Tabernacles, all right? And during this period, the Feast of Ingathering, it's a harvest festival. And at this particular time, the lemons and the etrog, I think that's how you pronounce it, etrog, I'm going to go with etrog, is a container that a lemon's in for Sukkot, okay? That's the other name for it. And it's a covering like over this lemon, and you open it up. I'm going to have to study this. You guys can help me. But it represents transformation, and what they're showing in this concert is being transformed. I believe they're also showing potentially an alien invasion at the time when these lemons are open, but it's transformation for sure. It's the message of transformation. I've read that in the description of Sukkot. I believe it has to do with both sides being shown here, which is, you know, we've got the enemy who's looking to elevate themselves through the fifth age, through, I think there's going to be an alien deception. At the same time, on the other side, you've got the feasts of the Lord, which have never been changed. It's something that as Christians that we should be following, yet we decide to follow pagan things. Tabernacles, Ingathering, and Sukkot, and we've got this lemon, and you've got U2 coming out of a lemon like it's a spacecraft. And I think it has to do with, from the Christian perspective, those who have accepted Christ will be transformed. And right now we're looking at Tabernacles as being that time, and the lemon plays into it. So there you go. Take it for encouragement or whatever. We're still looking for Jesus in each day, and there's going to be a flashpoint that's going to happen. And I mean, talking about the destruction of Babylon, I mean, look, this nation has been founded on the setup of it being destroyed and a phoenix rising out of it from the very beginning. Yes, it's a Christian nation as far as how the people who came here, but the ones who are the forefathers, when you study them, and I'll do a video on this, the street layout in Washington, D.C., you know, what they're really Freemasons and Illuminati members that have set this up to bring in a new world order, and this country will be the last bastion of freedom in order to set that up. It's on our money. Novus Ordo Seclorum, New Order of the Ages, New World Order. The pyramid's there. Why is the pyramid there with the all-seeing eye? Is that Is that Jesus Christ? No, that's Lucifer's eye. That's that, in that capstone that's hovering, it has to be joined to the rest of the pyramid, and the only way to do that is to destroy this country, and the Bible tells us it'll be destroyed in the course of 1 hour. Okay? New York is the city that's spoken about, for sure. But it is this country that exports everything to every other country, and when the merchants would weep and wail because of everything. Read Revelation 17 and 18 and tell me that's not the United States. I challenge you to do that. So this is what we're looking at, and this is what's about to happen. And when this flashpoint happens, in order to put this together, God has to allow it to happen. The enemy doesn't make moves on the chessboard without him allowing it to happen. The enemy has to make his final move, and then it's checkmate. That's the way it goes. Once that checkmate happens, God swoops in and he pulls his people out. And that's the point that we're at right now. We're on that very final moment with the checkmate, waiting for an enemy move to go for the kill. God allows him to go for the jugular. God allows him to go for the cross. You see what I'm saying? And then the resurrection happens. Woohoo! Praise Jesus. I love you all. God bless.